the Superstar.
Guys, this match has the potential to completely change the WWE landscape, and it's because of this level of talent involved. This is a woman ready to do some damage.
They don't come tougher than this wrestler. It's Ava Moreno.
And from the Bronx, New York, Ava Moreno.
Matches like these, with talent of this caliber, this is why sports entertainment is an art form.
Ava looks ready to make the most out of this opportunity.
For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they...
For those of you who have been... bear hug, squeezing the...
In the bear hug, trying to escape, trying to find a way out, and mission accomplished.
Oh, and she turns it around. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, for those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry... For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly. DDT! Planted.
Insult to injury.
Ouch.
Oh, man.
From the middle rope.
Oh, man.
Consecutive high-risk maneuvers, and the pace of this match has certainly picked up.
Oh, it didn't go as planned there.
Leg lariat.
Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
And she can't put an end to any of the offense coming at her.
Yeah, she needs to create an opportunity for herself fast.
And that was a precisely measured attack.
That just reverberated throughout the entire building. Talk about making a statement. Ava doing what she can to halter the beatdown.
Could be a chance for Ava to change the complexion of this match. I've seen Saxon thrown out of a few local bars like that before.
Oh, please don't remind me, Corey.
Ooh!
Moreno changes the direction of that one.
Reversal on top of reversal.
And that one misses the mark.
Each competitor showing they've done their homework.
Oh, knee to the breadbasket.
Placing them right where they want them, into the corner.
They like kick the features off their face.
She's lost some of that energy she had earlier.
Yeah, the wear and tear of this match is adding up pretty quickly.
She comes up empty.
T-bone into a power slam. Talk about intimidation. I'm not sure if it's resilience or stupidity that's going to drive you to try and come back from a move like that.
Ooh. And that failed to hit the mark. Oh, look at the elbow. Look at just hammering away in the back. And a backstabber.
Oh, yeah, she is really getting fired up.
Come on. What's going on here? Pay attention to your competition.
Double underhook applied.
Butterfly suplex. 2. Kick out just in time.
The end was in sight. To the back of the neck. Scottish sickle.
And she's in total control. Bear hug, squeezing the breath out of them.
Trapped and nowhere to go.
Except for maybe the emergency room or the locker room. This is going to be bad.
She's in the bear hug. She could be close to tapping out and fighting with everything she has. And that right there will do it.
She's staying.
Judo throw. Moreno's in the worst way now. That's gotta be it.
2 count.
How does anyone have this much in them at this point?
You got to give a lot of credit here, withstanding what has taken out many other competitors. Ooh, and a reversal. Right to the back. Moreno to the top.
Soaring.
What? And that was a collision you don't want to be on the receiving end of.
Came down like a wrecking ball on a cinder block.
Brought back into the ring from the floor now.
Taken down. Nicely done.
The referee clearly noticed she was on the ropes. Oh, that backfired. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Punishing the leg. The legs are a base that you do not want to lose.
Chopping down the tree at the base here.
Shot to the face gets them out of that spot.
Leg lariat. Taking a moment to get pumped off of this crowd's incredible energy.
Oh, got caught. What a press slam. Going for the cover.
And a kick out. Still too early in this match.
Spear. Looking for an early pin.
Seems a little too early in this match to go for the pin.
Oh.
What a hot shot.
She heads out, but this one can be lost by countout.
Great power.
Inverted suplex.
Delivered into the barricade. Face first off the barricade.
She's starting to look concerned.
She can withstand the punishment, though.
Looking for something here. Wait a minute. Hoist it up.
Gibbs first across the barricade.
Reversal. What a counter. And gets tossed back into the mat.
And she is feeling the electricity.
Oh, forget about pandering to the WWE Universe. That should keep her head in the game.
What a chop.
For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, for those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the school.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Oh, man, just punishing. She's looking highly motivated, getting hyped up. All the way up.
The power. Of the gut-wrench suplex. You have to be in peak physical condition to pull off a move with that much weight behind it.
And proving a bit slippery for them there. Great awareness as she proves to be too quick.
Down on the shoulder.
All the way up, and the crash landing powerbomb.
You have to question what kind of malintent is behind a powerbomb with that much force. Talk about being bent.
Whoa, 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 wait a second. Hoisted all the way up.
And that was a successful bit of offense with that maneuver.
A powerbomb's not meant to be pretty, but oh man, does it get the job done.
Yeah, pretty sure they don't want to be taking any more of those.
Strong suplex. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, for those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly. Ooh, merciless looking blow.
Ooh, she responds with a counter.
Laying lariat.
Look at the elbow. Look at just hammering away in the back. And a backstabber.
Letting her opponent know she is ready for anything.
Watch the speed. It's blitz of strikes.
Phenomenal.
Right to the midsection.
Both superstars showing great awareness of their opponent's repertoire. Repeated waistlock takedowns.
That is the kind of move that leaves our jaws on the floor. Unbelievable.
At this point, this is incredibly ill-advised. You're in the middle of a match.
Pulls the ripcord knee.
And now she's getting routed. And you know now she must rethink her strategy. And a well-executed move we just... all there. What do they have planned here? Kicks! Smashing the face right into the ground. And she is rapidly dictating the pace.
Her offense is on point right now. Oh boy, that's a determined stare that's come across her face.
Moreno changes the direction of that one.
Into the corner. This can't be good. Ooh, treading all over their opponent.
And Ava pays for leaving an opening. Oh, just turn that around. slam.
Is it enough? That pin attempt might have been a tad premature.
Butterfly double underhook up and face buster. Into the pin attempt. 2. She claws out of the pin.
Her will to not give up fully on display.
Ava's in real danger now.
Crafty way to get out home there. All the way up. Still up. Squatting too, my gosh. Wow.
That offense taking a toll on her. Reversal. Can she capitalize?
Leg lariat.
Look out. Oh, just completely off target there. A totally ill-advised decision there.
Maybe slight hesitation there.
Bear hug, squeezing the breath out of them.
Well, this isn't going to win the fall, but it's going to do a lot of...
The bear hug cinched in. Gotta find a way out and catch your breath.
Look at this, no quit whatsoever. Raining down elbows and escaping the bear hug.
And well-timed maneuver there. Ava interrupts the attack. And now gets tossed into the ring. Deadlift. And a sit-out powerbomb.
Thunderous impact.
Going for the home run. For those of you who have been... Following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been...
For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Looking for more damage here.
Release. She goes for the quick pin. She kicks out before 1.
She was hopeful going for the pin there. Run right through with the spear.
All the way up.
The power of the gut-wrench suplex.
No other way to say it, guys. That looked like it hurt a lot.
Wow, what impact.
Feeling the WWE Universe on another level. This is her fuel. A stunning display of power.
Such a potent display of power and control there.
Moreno was waiting for that.
Incoming.
Crash landing. Powerbomb. Crashing down like that, having the wind knocked out of you. Never a good time for that to happen.
There she goes. She's taking things to ringside. She manages to get control.
Run right through with the spear.
All the way up. Gut wrench suplex. That move had the amount of force akin to a natural disaster.
Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
She's taking some big hits here.
Down you go.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, yes.
And that was an efficient display of offense with that maneuver. And surely she hears how high the referee's count has gotten at this point.
Well, if she does, maybe she just doesn't care.
Goes under the ropes to get back inside.
Big forearm.
Saw that one coming.
To the back of the neck. Sky sick.
Uh-oh, she has trouble coming. Not going to be easy to get out of this. Well, she is desperate to get out of this submission some way, somehow, and she does.
Miraculous. Up and down, leg lariat.
And now she's gained command of this one.
She's taken command of the situation.
Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
T-bar into a power slam. Impressive.
An unyielding showing of authority. No two ways about it.
Perhaps a unique suplex.
Wrist clutch suplex. Perfect.
She's still got a lot of stamina left.
Ava interrupts the attack.
Suplex brings them down.
Up and down, leg lariat. Kick to the gut. Ooh, brutal forearm.
She's got her where she wants her.
At this point, this is incredibly ill-advised. You're in the middle of a match. Kane, destroyer. And shoulders are down. There's two. Wow.
Look at her stumble back up, probably seeing double vision.
What a striking combination. Boom. DDT. Planet.
She's in pretty bad shape now.
Yeah. Oh, what's coming here? Submission move being applied. Trying to take an arm out of the socket here.
They want that.
And she let... For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly. Well, they say everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, someone just threw their plan out the window.
Sent into the corner.
Knife edge chop.
Going coast to coast. Gonna kick the features off their face. Turned it into an arm drag. Hung out to dry.
Able to capitalize on Ava's mistake.
Ava telegraphing that one.
These two showing how well scouted they each are. This is just brute power.
Release German. for an early pin. Quick kick out from her there.
Bold move to go for the pinfall this early in the matchup.
Pummels the shoulder. She's looking to end it early. Oh, kick out.
Yeah, far too early for her to expect anything else.
Sent out of the ring, not sure she wants to be here.
From behind.
For those of you who have been following Following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined.
For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Saw that one coming. And did you hear the impact of that? Oh, quick pin attempt here. This one's far from over.
Yeah, it's going to take more than that. From behind, back suplex.
Up and down, leg lariat. Oh! Corey, that's a unique suplex. Wrist clutch suplex, perfect.
All the way up, gut-wrench suplex.
Being able to pull that off, no one is going to question if you skip going to the gym today.
Oh, look at this blitz.
Left, right, high, low.
Oh, man, every single one hitting the mark.
All right, snapping her back to reality. This isn't a pose-off. Driven down face first. Oh, my
Look at
goodness.
this. From the ground up.
Superhuman.
Clearly an attack that very few superstars can perform with such ease. All the way up. Gut-wrench suplex. She's feeling it, and the WWE Universe is feeling it too.
Punishing boot.
This is likely going to have adverse effects on her. She's only aggravating her competition at this point. Shoulder tackle.
Ooh, vicious double axe handle.
She's beginning to flag a little.
From the top.
Oh, the high risk doesn't pay off.
Whoa.
A slingshot cross body.
Just a devil-may-care attitude on full display.
Going for broke, and it pays off.
Of course, that's a unique suplex.
Wrist clutch suplex, perfect. Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
Watch out! They're coming towards the announce desk.
What the hell are you doing, Byron?
Oh, geez, that could take you out.
Over and over again, getting beaten down with force.
Uh-oh, got snatched up here. Scoop slam.
Up and down, leg lariat.
Turned that one around. She's in danger of a count out here.
I don't know if she cares.
She's firing up, no doubt about it.
She turns it right around with a counter. She can... For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
And that was a hell of a maneuver there, guys.
That's the WWE equivalent of a helmet-to-helmet hit right there.
And that was offense with a hurtful purpose. Knee strike to the face.
Pulls the ripcord.
Oh.
God.
Oh, what are they going to do? Oh, look at this. this. Look at this power.
No way.
And an impactful display of offense we just witnessed there.
Oh, man, they do not care who or what they destroy.
Yeah, Byron, you are dangerously close to being collateral damage in this one. Handstand. Drops the hammer.
Right on the lower back.
Battling at ringside can be very unforgiving. You have to be careful out there.
No protection out here. No safe confines to speak of.
Canadian Destroyer. She's forced onto the defensive now. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Out of the ring, she has to mind the 10 count.
Regal
Flex. These are big power moves becoming more devastating with every attempt.
Down you go.
Lots of potential for injury here at ringside. These superstars better be careful.
The floor, the barricades, our table, none of these things are fun to collide with.
Oh, punishing combination. Oof. Saw it coming.
And now thrown back into the ring. Power slam. Forearm to the face.
Oh, nothing fancy about that.
Made her pay for her mistake.
Up and down, leg lariat.
She's enduring some damage. Ava interrupts the attack.
Well-delivered suplex.
For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Counters, this could be an opportunity.
DDT! Planted. Double underhook applied.
Butterfly suplex.
As the leg trapped, fisherman suplex.
Face first off the knee. She's feeling the hurt here.
Yeah, but too soon to be worried.
Uh-oh, look at this.
Layout gourd buster.
Moreno changes the direction of that one.
Nasty looking inverted suplex. Down with force.
Goes into the pin.
Not getting a 2 count at this point has to be frustrating.
Oh, and a forearm smash. Ooh, that kick will stop you in your tracks. Corey, that's a unique suplex.
Wrist clutch suplex, perfect.
She's fighting back. Into the corner now. capitalize on Ava's mistake.
Run right through with the spear.
Oh, strong impact. She's starting to drag a little bit.
And hanging tough, but beginning to show some wear and tear. Might want to think about picking up the pace a bit.
And that was taking the attack to the competition with that one. And she can't find a response for this assault.
Yeah, she needs to revise her methods quickly.
Wrist clutch suplex. Watch out.
Whoa!
Just exhibiting their fearlessness.
Exhibiting guts and accuracy as well.
And continuing to punish their opponent with a German. Thrown back in under the ropes.
Ava's in real danger now.
Ava telegraphing that one.
Great counter, impressive ring IQ on display there.
Reversals, reversals, and more reversals.
Into the cover! And that's it. Ava Moreno wins. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Bang!
Dodges.
Frankensteiner!
Boom.
Race lock applied.
Squeezing all the breath out of their opponent.
Able to get the advantage here. Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, yes.
Referee in position. 2 count. Real close. Too close for comfort.
Well, that might have been closer than she thought it would be.
She's sent flying into the corner.
Satellite DDT.
Slingshot crossbody.
That is reckless abandon being shown.
And paying off as well.
That takes them down.
Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
Moreno changes the direction of that one.
All the way up. Still up. Squatting too, my gosh. Wow.
Power from the suplex. She throws her back in. Spear!
Double underhook applied.
Butterfly suplex. What a forearm. Compromised position here. Ooh, right to the throat. Quickly the cover. Big kick out.
You have to think this match is starting to take its toll.
Ooh.
Kick to the gut. Ooh, brutal forearm. Uh-oh. Half and half suplex. Lights out.
That's a unique suplex.
Wrist clutch suplex. Perfect.
just hammered away in the back. And a backstabber.
Telling her opponent that she has even more left in her tank.
To the back of the neck. Scottish sickle.
And look at this now. Bad intentions coming with this hold. Armbar. Armbar. Oh, nowhere to go. No.
Trying to maneuver her out.
She needed that badly. Oh, what a big boot. Oh.
Going for the ride.
The follow-away slam.
I honestly can't believe we just saw a human being tossed like that. Oh, great display of strength with the suplex.
Stomps to the legs.
Well measured.
And here we go. Single leg crab. Going for the single leg. Boston. Pressure's on. Gotta get out quick. Oh, what a great counter.
Oh, boy. Here it comes. Will she get it fully locked in?
Submission locked in. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Is she going to tap out?
How much longer can she hold on? Come on. Aww.
Time is up, and this ends in a draw. For those of you who have been following Ava Moreno and her opponent's rivalry over on Main Event, you're in for a treat. They're here on SmackDown to settle the score.
And for those of you new to the rivalry, you're in for a treat too. These two haven't been in WWE very long, but they're already determined to crush each other.
Unfortunately, they won't have much crushing time as this is a 5-minute time limit match, so they better crush quickly.
Satellite DDT.
Step up for the leg sweep.
Nicely done.
Oh, my God. Oh, and a backbreaker.
Right to the spine. Thunderous leg drop connects.
That offense taking a toll on her.
Yeah, but too soon to be worried. To the back of the neck. Scottish sickle.
DDT.
Lights out.
Fighting back with a counter. And what a maneuver we just saw there. She's sent to the outside. Taking it to the floor. What's she gonna do?
Don't go over here.
Cole, quick, use Saxton as a human shield.
Uh-oh.
Half and half suplex. Lights out.
Corey, that's a unique suplex.
Wrist clutch suplex. Perfect. Disrupts the attack with an elbow straight to the mouth.
Whip back into the ring.
And up the turnbuckles we go.
Oh!
Oh, what a DDT.
What's she waiting for? She's looking more focused on gesturing rather than winning.
Moreno was waiting for that.
Ooh.
Oh, stop after stop after stop. Jeez.
A wrist clutch suplex. Unmitigated demonstration. Wait, is she? Yeah, looking for the submission. The armbar is locked in. You can see the agony on her face. This is painful. Can she?
Well, that's one way to get out of it. Shoulder tackle. Able to capitalize on Ava's mistake. Oh, you gotta be kidding me? Plucked out of the air.
She's looking for the win.
An effective pin.
Amazing effort by her.
Ooh, that'll mess up your shoulder.
Buster for the win.
And she kicks out right away.
I can't believe the ref didn't even get to one.
Face first. She's beginning to flag a little. What a clubbing blow. Taking it outside the ring now. Forward smash. Ava's taking full command here.
Attack after attack from Ava. Boom! She's calling for it.
Oh, look at this. German suplex. And not done yet. Another German. And continuing to punish their opponent with a German. Throws her back in from ringside.
She avoids the attack completely.
Ava putting it together.